Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Yes, hello, I'm Jim.
And I'm Todd.
And we are here to share with you a wonderful topic on today's Take a Listing Today podcast. It kind of has something to do with the title of the podcast. We're going to show you how you can give a killer presentation. And we are talking about a presentation to take a listing.
Exactly. And then keep in the back of your mind, those of you listening or watching and taking notes, you're going to get 4 or 5 bullet points here. And this might be the one podcast that you might want to go back and revisit 3 or 4 or 5 times, because if this can be mastered, this will allow you to have a sense of confidence to go out and destroy the competition. Number one reason agents fail in the country is prospecting. Number one reason they don't prospect is because they do not have a great killer listing presentation that they have confidence in, correct?
Exactly. If you had a great presentation that won 80% of the time, 90% of the time, you would love going out there and taking presentations.
Exactly.
Because you knew it'd be a win. Speaking of winners, Lisa Gray, our producer, is here.
Whoa, Lisa Gray.
Nice segue there. All right.
Very natural.
So here's a great statistic for you. Did you know that 55% of sellers interview 2 or 3 agents before they make a decision on who is going to sell their house? Your objective, make sure they choose you. How are we going to do that?
Well, there's a lot of ways, and you know what? It's a beautiful point, because with the tool of the internet right now, people are using that, whether they're going to buy a home or sell a home. So they do a ton of work. So number one, make sure that you have a great footprint when they're going to look for you.
Exactly, which means that you are out there marketing yourself. People know you. You've done some business. They trust you. They know, Susie, she's in real estate. She's the one to call.
Exactly. And if they Google you, maybe you publish some articles, maybe they find you in different places. So now your credibility is going up before you even do your pre-listing kit.
So your credibility is going to help you when you go in to do the presentation, because there's a few different goals that you want to achieve during your presentation. You want to demonstrate your expertise and still trust, which you can do by your marketing. Differentiate yourself from other agents that they're going to be speaking to. Provide proof of your abilities through your past numbers and social proof. Persuade the seller that you are the only answer. And then that all wraps up to maybe the most important thing that you are there to do: take the listing.
Hand pen, direct Siggy.
Exactly. Right? and that is statistically the worst fault of salespeople, whether you're in real estate or whatever business you're in. Most salespeople don't ask for the sale.
Correct. And a lot of them will talk too much. And then let's bring up an interesting point, speaking of which. How do we help them get the listing when they are there? We're going to bounce around on some different strategies here. Some of this will resonate with a lot of you. A couple other parts might. Imagine the simplicity of this, that I'm going to sell my home. These two are going to come over as the listing team. But before they come over, they asked me an interesting question. They said, great, we're going to send you an email of some pre-listing package stuff. Mm-hmm. And boom, 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 I get to hear a little bit about them, their background, their horsepower. And also, here's a list of challenges some of my past clients had in their mind. So I want you just to let me know which one or two of these are bothering you. We're going to find out their objections. We're going to find out their pain points. So when we get there, we can just skip all the minutia and hit the 2 or 3 things that are most applicable to you, which leads to us getting the contract signed.
Which is a brilliant idea. You save time. You get right to what the home seller is worried about in selling of their home, whether it's the price, whether it's the time, whether it's dealing with a open house. You know exactly how to counter those objections.
Exactly.
So you need to have a structured presentation with a variety of tools to help you build your case so it ends with the listing agreement. What do we say about listing presentations, about magic tricks? Practice, practice, practice. Todd is an amateur magician. Perhaps we could get something next week maybe going on.
Definitely. Yeah, don't tease me. I'll bring more than one magic trick next week.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, what you said about practice is so incredible. I was thinking about this last night before we were going into the studio today, and I thought about the people that become great at anything. It's really 2 things done throughout time. It's a compounded habit. Repetition and intensity, repetition and intensity. If you're going to become a great piano player, a great athlete, a great realtor, and guess what? It's boring. Repetitious boredom will make somebody rich. So yeah, is that binder, that listing presentation, your laptop, that listing presentation, sure, it's boring to you. It will be new and fresh to that couple or those people that you go and sit at their table and deliver a listing presentation.
And one of these days, we're going to start practicing our podcast before we tape. So maybe we'll get this down. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that, as always. Role play with your peers, with your spouse, people at your office. Get your phone out and video record yourself doing the presentation. See what you can find that you need to improve on.
That's so huge right there. And guess what? What Jim just said, 99% of people will not do it. Why? I've done thousands of videos. I don't even like watching myself on video. I want to see the first 30 seconds of good, boom, done. But to have someone critique with your iPhone, with your Android, and just have them critique your presentation. And look back. You've got to be a student of life and say, okay, I was too fast there. I was rushing there. Where are your pauses, your tonality, your voice inflection, the silence, the magic of a pause, asking a question and waiting. The magic is all in here. This is where your confidence will come from. This will allow you to get excited to want to go share and go tell people what you do and how you can help them.
That's funny you say about the magic of a pause, because a lot of people get very nervous when there's silence and they feel like they have to say something. Nobody? Okay.
Oh, we got him on that.
Oh, darn it.
Too good. We're too good.
He tried to bait us.
All right, I did. But really, when you stop talking and if you just say, so, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, are you ready to proceed? Stop talking. They'll say something. Yes, no. If it's no, then keep on going.
Correct.
So
And if it's yes,
if it's yes,
Hand pen direct Siggy.
exactly. Stop talking.
be quiet.
Even if you took 2 hours perfecting your 30-minute presentation, if after 2 minutes they say yes, you can list our house, shut up.
Yeah. Golden. You can actually talk yourself out of a sale.
Yes, definitely.
What? Are you sure you want to do it? No. I got more to go through. Are you sure? Okay. Don't do that. So the structure of your presentation, begin with a brief overview of what's going to happen during the presentation and let them know that you're there to learn more about each other and determine if you are the right fit for each other, because I suppose there's a small chance that you might not want to take the listing after you see with that. Would you agree with that, Todd?
Correct. And a lot of that's going to come from pre-qualifying them beforehand as you're on the phone to make sure two things. Are they potentially priced right? And number two, are they motivated? There's only one thing worse than taking a listing. That's taking a listing that will never sell, an overpriced dog, just so you can go back to the office, put it on the board, look what I did. An overpriced listing will cost you time and money.
And I think there's a psychological magic behind letting your seller know that let's see if we're a fit, maybe we won't be. It's
Right.
almost like a reverse psychology. You're creating a little demand there. When somebody feels they may not measure up, it may not be a good fit, they realize you're not there to just take any listing. You want to make sure it's going to work on your side as well. It's going to be a benefit to you as a realtor as well. And that can create a little bit of fear that can be actually quite powerful. So that's a great thing to let them know. This is a unique
Yes.
situation. Every situation when I sit down with someone is unique. Let's find out if this is going to work.
And to Lisa's point, I've heard it from a lot of great agents out there, meaning agents that are doing 60, 80, 150 closings a year, and they will use that on the phone. They will qualify them beyond belief to make sure they're priced right and motivated, find out if anyone else is being interviewed. They'll share with them their credentials, and they'll use that dialogue. Great. Well, let's get together. I'll share with you what we do in terms of me, my company, and our marketing plan to help meet your needs and make you the most money shortest period of time. If it's a fit, we'll go ahead, get the paperwork, get the sign the yard, and if not, boom, at least we met some new friends and had a cup of coffee. But our people are going to win if they implement this.
And there are books and books written about why you shouldn't take overpriced listings and work with terrible sellers. And that's probably another show. If we need a topic, Lisa, we can try that. So while you're in the presentation, find out from the sellers what is most important for them. What areas of concerns do they have? The pains that they are anticipating from listing their house. When are they going to be ready to list their house? If they're ready to list now, you might ask them, if I'm able to demonstrate that I can achieve what is important to you, put your concerns at ease, and provide solutions for your current problems, are you ready to list today?
I love that. And I want to elaborate on one thing you said, because there's magic in questions. And you said something, and I've used this so much, I call it WMI, what's most important. Imagine you're sitting there at the listing presentation, you know they're price right motivated, you're asking questions, and imagine at one point, one of your questions is, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when you decide to hire a professional to help you sell your house, as you're anchoring yourself, when you guys decide to hire someone to help you sell your house, let me ask you a question. What's most important to you when you decide to hire that agent or that team? And you be quiet. They're going to tell you, well, we would want this and this, boom, boom, boom. Okay, great. So we can do these things, sign the papers, boom, we're out.
Well, and I think what's great about that question is most people think, oh, yeah, I asked that at the end. No, ask that at the beginning. Once you find out what's important to them, where the pain is, where their concerns are, ask them if you're able to meet those areas. Are you ready to list today? Now you know they've committed. So now you're gonna start building your case, and at the end, it's a natural close.
And hopefully you've gotten all that information during the pre-listing questionnaire that we're going to email them before you even
And
show
I love
up.
what Lisa said, because we've been taught this in sales training all throughout life, but a close is just a natural ending to a great presentation.
So what should you have in your presentation to help build your case? Obviously, your skills, your top sales numbers, stories about problems that you've overcome for clients to give them a little bit of reassurance, your success stories. What is it that you do that is different from other agents in the area? Bring some testimonials, written or emails from customers that you have helped in the past. Let them know what services you offer and the benefits that it will result for the sellers. Give them an idea of their marketing strategy for the home, whether it's postcards, Facebook, yard sign, whatever it is. Let them know what type of marketing strategy you have. Bring a CMA for their house so that they know about what dollar figure they're looking at. And if you provide that number, how did you get it? It's going to provide some legitimacy to the number that you are giving them. And the pricing strategy for their home. What happens if it doesn't sell in the first 30 days? Are you going to adjust the pricing somehow?
Right.
So, important points to remember about making a great listing presentation. The structure you follow in each presentation should be the same. The overview, the interview, build your case, and ask for the listing. And it's actually not bad to ask for the listing throughout all of that. Don't just do it once. You could ask several times.
Correct, because maybe they're driver personality type, so they don't want the whole song and dance. They have 2 or 3 things they want answered, and they're ready to go. You could literally be 10 minutes back in your car and done. So, I wanted to elaborate on one point. What to bring to the listing presentation? Bring the kitchen sink. Why? It's always easier to go to the car and grab some or go into your briefcase. And if you forget something, then how many chances are you going to get at that, right?
I did that once, and the sellers locked the door. I couldn't get back in.
Did you try the back door? Did you run around real quick?
I did try that, and the dog got me. So
the dog got it. Okay, so we didn't get that listing is all.
No,
you got all the other ones.
Yeah. But hey, I went out and took another one down the street, so it was okay. No big deal.
Beautiful.
But had I had the kitchen sink with me, we wouldn't have had that issue. So
correct, yes.
Yeah, good point. Every presentation is going to be different. Tailor it to the sellers that you are working with to target their pain, to target their concerns. Here's a call for a listing right now.
Call for a listing. This is beautiful.
Good timing. And finally, while I take this call, or at least put it on silent there, always ask for the listing. Build your case, get their yeses, then in a confident voice, making eye contact, ask for the listing.
And think about this. One of my assignments when I went into real estate in Bakersfield, California, just a little fun story. My broker, who became my broker, was after me for a long time to sell real estate. He called it dirt. Want to sell dirt? I'm thinking, I just got out of college. This doesn't sound real exciting, selling dirt. So I liked him. We had a good rapport. I came on board, and I walk around the office. I look at the board, the agents, the production. I didn't like all that. So I go to him and I said, okay, question. If I'm going to go in this business, I don't want to just flounder for 6 months and I have to learn this, figure this out. I said, what has to happen for me to win out of the gate? He told me one thing. Let the dishes pile up. Let this happen. Go work on your presentation, whether it's 3 days or 3 weeks, and come back to me and deliver that presentation. This is where all of your confidence come from, and this will allow you to take over the city. So I did that. I go back, critique. We need to fix 2 or 3 things, critique. And then the next assignment, he said, take my whiteboard. Everyone has a goal board. And he said, let nothing get in the way. Your next objective is 10 good, sellable, right price listings. If one falls off, you replace it. That's how we play the game from here on out. So talk about mindset, pretty incredible way to think about it.
And you got to have the integrity to do that, to say, okay, I'm going to sit down here for 3 days or 3 weeks, how long it takes to do the presentation, to get critique, to
Good
fix
point.
it.
And that's not fun all the time.
No, if real estate was fun and easy, anybody could do it.
Correct. Yes.
But everybody cannot do it. Only the special can do it. And our goal here is to, help make you the special agents who can go out and take a listing today.
So go on and dominate. Implement what we talked about here today. If you have questions, write it down in the comment section below. Get in touch with us. We're here to help you help and win and make sure that we help you dominate this game called real estate.
We'll talk to you on our next podcast. Thanks for joining us.